Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today for the Problem Statement Explainer session. I am Rudronil Sarkar. I will be the host for this evening, and very warm greetings to you for this wonderful session over here. So, quickly, if we begin, SuperOps, the company name itself is organizing SuperHack 2025, building the future of agentic AI for IT management. So, just a session overview. We will be moving ahead first with about SuperOps, super hacks. Then I'll give the presentation of the speakers who will be attending today, and the leaders themselves will be giving the problem statement explainers. And moving on ahead, we'll be talking about MSPs, a little bit more about the problem statements for all the four problem statements that we have for this hackathon. And then we'll go next to the timeline. Moving on ahead, we will be having ask your queries session where we will be answering each and every query that you guys might have. So, moving on ahead without any much further ado, about SuperHack. Well, what SuperHack is basically? It's more than just a hackathon. Here, participants basically will be joining. They will be coming into this community and explaining all this, taking part into this hackathon, and moving on ahead. They will take part into the IT and the MSPs directly. So, why participate in SuperHack? Well, you can see on your screen, we have a prize pool of $100,000. Next, there will be advanced AI tool and infrastructure powered by SuperOps and AWS. AWS will be providing expert mentorships over here. Next, we will get featured and on the SuperOps agent place. So the top prototypes who will be shortlisted in this hackathon will be getting a chance to host their prototypes, basically the agents, in the SuperOps agent marketplace. And they will, this being a 100% virtual global hackathon, all the participants will be getting a chance to showcase their agents globally. What a hackathon this is, right? Next, the prize pool. Little bit on the prize pool again. Well, as you can see on your screen here, winner $8,000, runner up $5,000, and special jury prize $3,000 are for the ones who will be going to the grand finale themselves. The each of the each of the prizes over here is mentioned for each themes. So the four themes that will be covering next in this session, each of those themes will be having three winners each. So as you can see, there's a best ideas, 6 teams, 1500 per team written as well. I'll just give a introduction to that as well. So each hackathon has first, second, and third as a winner. Right? This time we are trying to do something new over here. Well, SuperOps gives visibility to ideas as well. The top 6 teams who will be having great and wonderful ideas, so they will be rewarded for that as well. If maybe their code is not working, maybe their agent is not that well equipped, but their ideas can actually shape the world. So we will be giving a special recognition to them as well. Next, without any much further ado, I will just brief about today's speakers over here. So we have Arvind Parthiban. He is the CEO and um, the co-founder of SuperOps. He has 15 years of SaaS experience and is leading a wonderful team in SuperOps. Next, we have Jayakumar Karum Vasalam. He's the CPTO and co-founder at SuperOps. He has a wonderful experience of 20 years and has been spearheading operations over the years. Without any much further ado, I will call here Arvind to take on to the stage. Arvind,
Hey, thanks,
please.
Vishwa. I appreciate the introduction. Good evening, everyone. I would like to introduce SuperOps and about SuperHack over here. So before I get into SuperHack, I just wanted to talk about the AI era and why we are doing what we are doing over here, right? So everybody are talking about agents, agentic AI, and how it is disrupting every industry overall in this AI market. So we are planning to launch a agentic AI marketplace in couple of months. The idea is to work with our target audience very closely and build the right problem statements for them with agents. That's the whole idea. So we wanted to bring developers and MSPs into our community, discuss and build the right agents which can help and change the life of an MSP. So before we talk about these keywords of what MSP is and everything, I will let me introduce SuperOps to you so that you will know a little bit about the industry so that you can actually get the mentors and build the right product for it. So can we move on to the next slide? Yeah, right. So let me explain what MSP is, right? Any company, let me break it down in layman's term. So if you take a small software company which has like let's say 200 employees, like SuperOps, they need IT infrastructure to run their company. It can be a laptop. We need to provide internet, routers, printers, firewall has to be set, switch has to be managed, right? Like these are some of the infrastructures which a sysadmin team will provide to any company. It can be a small tea shop. That company will also have some IT infrastructure. A decent company with 200 employees will also have a different kind of IT. There will be data centers which has to be managed. There are big, large corporations which will have a different kind of IT infrastructure. For everything, the sysadmin team will manage the IT infrastructure. So there will be things like an agent which will sit in your laptop. Your software has to be up to date. So that will be managed remotely. So we provide those tools to manage the IT infrastructure outside the organization. So if your team is sitting in the company, it's called sysadmin. If it has been outsourced, they are called managed service providers. So that's what the market is. It's a very huge market. It's like a $35 billion TAM. There are really big players who have been there for almost 30 years. And like it's a very vaguely used word. One man company is also called an MSP. In fact, Infosys can also be called as an MSP. So that's the industry we are targeting. So little technical, it is like you're all developers, so you know what it means. So a lot of MSPs also build custom apps for it. So there is an overlap between these two markets as well. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So most of our customers, if you look at SuperOps customers, we actually have very few customers in India. Predominantly, our market is US, Europe, and then rest of the world like Australia and other companies. So as I said, the TAM is such a huge TAM, and with this agentic AI, the TAM has also gone much bigger with a 13% CAGR every year. It's how it's growing. So can we go to the next slide? All right. So let me talk about what we did. So we initially launched a campaign in the US saying agent is missing because a lot of our competitors were just building something like a wrapper around a simple feature. I'll give you an example. Script generation is one of the features we have in our product. One of our competitors just integrated with ChatGPT and they said you can use AI to generate script. You know that you ask ChatGPT anything, any command, any prompt, it's going to provide you a script, but will it accurately do that task? It won't, right? Like so, these kind of half-baked jobs have been done. So we basically what we said is, real agent, please stand up. Agent is missing, and we created a campaign for a month, and then we wanted to launch this marketplace. So we created a drone show, which we will play soon, to announce that we are creating a community, the community of developers and MSPs where you can discuss real AI pain points. Agentic AI means being autonomous, where it automatically does the job and deflects most of the work a real technician does. So that is the kind of work which we want to automate. So we will try to provide you this MSPs as mentors who can help you build the real problem. We will provide you the platform where you can discuss and get these information from the real user and build these agents for them so that it can help them in different ways. So Jay will be talking about it and how it can make a technician efficient and different themes in which these agents can be built. So the timeline is we launched the drone show with the community beta, the marketplace beta. In couple of months, we'll be launching the marketplace where all these apps will be listed, and you also will get an opportunity to resell your apps. Like the agents can be sold in the marketplace. So that's what the campaign timeline is. So next slide. All right. So with that, we want to show you. So this is the drone show we did, and so before I hand it over to Jay to go in deep on what kind of themes we have and everything, I just wanted to introduce SuperOps. We are a PSA and RMM platform built specifically for managed service providers, where with our software they will be able to manage their IT infrastructure. So be Google this market, understand the space well, and build the real agents which will make the MSP's life much easier. That's the whole theme is about. So with that, I'll pass it on to Jay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Arvind. Thanks for joining today. I'm going to walk you through the hackathon themes. I'll be keeping things fairly high level today because of the time constraints. But please join our SuperOps community. So we have launched a SuperOps community. It is a community for developers and the MSP users and IT users. So it is going to give you a platform for you to come and discuss your ideas, understand the problem statements better and the value behind them. And maybe you can refine your solutions as well in that, hash out your solutions in that community. Given that there are 4 themes that we designed for this hackathon, so let's jump right in. So the first theme of the hackathon is about operational efficiency improvement. So like Arvind mentioned earlier, the main job of MSPs and IT teams is to make sure the IT infrastructure is up, running, and secure, right? So now think of IT operations like managing a massive digital city, okay? Just like a city needs a traffic lights, water systems, and emergency services running 24/7, IT environments also need constant monitoring, updating, and maintenance across thousands of devices and systems. So companies today manage everything from computers, servers, mobile phones, routers, firewalls, all kinds of network devices, including IP, cameras, literally hundreds of thousands of devices, right? So what are the big IT operations tasks MSPs handle? So let me highlight a couple of those tasks. So the reason I'm explaining all these themes is that so that it helps you to understand the theme better, because it's very specific to the market that we are working on it. And it is going to help you to understand the themes better and then figuring it out, the ideas that you want to solve. So the first task I want to talk about is the patch management. So let's take a simple analogy, right? So like if your computer systems are like cars needs oil changes, tire rotations, and safety inspections, right? So similarly, computers need software patches to stay secure and run smoothly. So every month, if you look into Microsoft alone, releases 20 plus security patches. And not to mention the updates from the other software vendors, say Adobe or Chrome or Java, right? Or many other software vendors. So for an MSP managing, say, 500 computers across 50 businesses, that's over like 10,000 individual updates every single month. So one big part of IT operation is to make sure all the systems are patched regularly. Okay. So the second big part is alerts. If something isn't working, IT teams needs to know immediately. Think of alerts like smoke detectors in a building. They are meant to warn you about real danger. But imagine if every time someone burned a toast and every smoke alarm in the building went off, that's the current state of IT alerting. So most organizations get hundreds of thousands of alerts daily, and 80-90% of them are false positive or low priority. This creates alert fatigue. Technicians get desensitized, like miss critical issues or waste hours chasing down false alarms, right? So this is another operational area that they look into it. And beyond patches and alerts, like IT teams also spend a huge chunk of time on repetitive tasks. And most of these tasks, I would even say that 60% of these tasks um, goes into things that don't really require advanced technical skills. Say, for example, user lifecycle management, creating accounts across, say, Active Directory, email accounts, multiple cloud applications, then setting the permissions for those users, right? That is one example. Another could be like setting up the laptops for the new employees, installing software, configuring the VPN in the software, setting up the certificates. Uh, Another could be like just checking whether the backups of important servers that they run, whether the backups have been run successfully, right? That is another one. And monitoring the license usage, compliance, part of it. Then running a vulnerability scans, making sure that the systems are safe and secure, right? So it's a lot of manual and repetitive work. So when you look at IT operations as a whole, you will notice that plenty of opportunities for automations and especially like AI automation. Uh, so I'm not going to call out any specific examples, but to just to give you an idea of like what we are actually talking about, I'm going to mention few examples, but don't limit your imaginations or finding the ideas limited to what I'm actually talking about. Feel free to participate in our community, talk to the real expert, and identify the real problems that they want to solve. And some examples that I'm mentioning it just for the understanding purposes. So one example could be like I talked about alert fatigue. So one example could be like smart alert, a system that learns from technicians' behaviors and filter out noise automatically. That could be one example. Or intelligent alert routing, alerts like going directly to the right team member based on the skills or availability could be one. And another example that I can think of is like verifying the backup systems and make sure that if there is any failures are there and reporting it automatically to the technicians. And usually for IT operations, they usually work with multiple systems. It's not only the remote monitoring system or the IT operation management that SuperOps provides. They also work with the cybersecurity vendors. They work with the backup systems. They work with the other monitoring systems as well. So bringing in a cross-platform integrations using intelligent AI capabilities could be another example that I can think of. So that's a big picture of the IT operation. Think of it as a digital city that never sleeps. So, and your hacks can make the life easier for the people who run it. So that's it for the theme. So let's continue with the theme 2 of the hackathon. So theme 2 is about the service efficiency improvement, right? So now, if theme one is about IT operations, mostly about the devices, the theme two is about the human side of the IT, right? So it's about making the IT service delivery more human centered, efficient, and intelligent, right? While theme one is focused on the devices and automation, theme two is about people and their experience with the IT team. So the technicians, the end users, the managers, and the clients who interact with the IT services every day, right? So that's about the theme two. So think of like IT service delivery or service delivery is like running a restaurant, right? So you need efficient kitchen operation. That's like backend systems. But equally important is the front of the house experience, right? Like how the customers order, how the servers manage the tables, how the whole experience feels. So that's the challenge here. So making IT service delivery more efficient and effective. So the IT teams and MSPs are more productive, insightful, and responsive. At the same time, end users and employees get the best service experience, right? So to understand this service efficiency improvement that I'm talking about, let me pick up a couple of focus areas so that it gives you an idea of like what are all the service management, right? Um, so imagine like a client calls about an email issue and the technician has to check the ticketing system for similar issues, search the knowledge base for solutions, then look up the client specific configuration, then find the latest vendor documentation, then goes and fix the problem, right? So each text takes a few minutes, right? And before even they touch the problem, they already lost like 10 to 15 minutes because they have to go through 4 or 5 systems to understand like what is actually happening, right? And in the end, if you look into it statistically, like 60% of that time is spent um, on actually solving the problem, and 40% is spent on figuring out the things around the system. So this is about the technician productivity, right? Like if the technician has the access to the right data at the right time, that then their efficiency is going to improve. So this is one area that I can talk about. The other area is like about time tracking, like how does the technicians are going to track their time. If they don't track the time, and how it is going to affect the MSP, right? Say for example, a technician gets an alert about a server issue. They jumps in and they spend 90 minutes troubleshooting a complex DNS problem, but they forgot to start the timer, right? So when it comes to billing, that work may not be fully recorded, right? So study shows that the manual data entry error rates are like 1 to 5% for most of the MSPs. And if the MSPs are billing around say 100 hours per month per technician, even that 1% error means it's a real financial loss, right? Another area that I can actually talk about on the service efficiency side is the SLA, the service level agreements that MSPs and IT teams have. It's an agreement about like how efficiently I will provide the service and what is the timeline and things like that. On the SLA violations are costing MSPs and IT organizations like millions annually through penalties, client churn, or damaged reputation, right? Like, so research shows that the MSPs typically face SLA violation 15 to 25% of the time, resulting in a significant financial and operational consequences. And one last area that I want to talk about is service delivery, right? Like how efficiently we should able to deliver the service. Say, for example, an employee needs an access to a software or a systems, 1 or 2 systems, right? And the IT team has to create a ticket for each of those systems, and there are email chains for approvals, and there are approvals has to come in, then they have to follow up for the approvals, then the manual account creation has to happen, and they need to do the documentation and notification of the work that has been done. So this whole process is slow and inefficient. It directly impacts the productivity and user satisfaction, right? Again, to give you some ideas about like what are the things that you can actually think of building. Again, these are all examples. Like I said earlier, come to our community, meet our real users, and identify the real problems that they would like to solve it there. But I'm just throwing you some examples here. One example could be the smart time tracking assistant. It detects like when technicians are working on the specific ticket and reminds them to start or stop timer. The better is like it's automatically start the timer and automatically figure it out. You move on to the next ticket, stop the timer, right? That could be one of the uh, idea that you can actually think of. The violation alert, the SLA violation that I talked about, you can create a simple notification system for the things that are approaching the SLA violations deadlines, so that the SLA violation doesn't happen. The right technician has been notified so that they can able to answer the ticket before it get violated. Right? So that's theme 2. If theme 1 is about digital city of devices, this theme is about the people who keep that city running smoothly, and your hacks can help them faster, smarter, and more productive. So let's talk about theme 3, which is about growth and financial improvement for IT teams and MSPs. In simple words, this theme is going to focus on finance. So most MSPs today operate financially blind. They know their total revenue, but they often lack insights, things like client profitability, service margin, and growth opportunities, right? And if you look at IT departments, it's very similar. Like they manage multi-million dollar budgets, but they have very little visibility into whether that spending is effective and or how it can be optimized. So this track is about like how do we help MSPs and IT departments understand their financials better and improve profitability and budget utilization. It's all about that. Uh, so in the interest of time, I'm just moving on to some of the ideas that you can actually think of for this hackathon. Something like a license optimization calculator, right? So the MSPs as well as the IT teams are purchasing licenses, and they are actually provisioning the licenses for their employees or their clients, right? And if in case of MSP, they have to invoice their clients and get the money for the licenses that they have provisioned. Sometimes there is a gap in which how much they purchase and how much they pay for the vendors and how much they collect it from their clients. So there can be a license optimization calculator or a reconciliation calculator which tells you like, hey, this is how much you have paid for your vendors, this is how much you are collecting from your client, and this is how much revenue that you are actually losing, right? In case of an IT team, it can be like how much budget I have to purchase these licenses and which departments are using it, or the utilization is being there, are there licenses which are actually purchased but no one is actually utilizing it. Maybe that employee is already left the company, but I haven't reclaimed the license, so it's not useful for I'm losing money there, right? Another example could be the client profitability, right? Like MSPs has multiple clients, so each client could be different. The margins for each clients could be different depending on like what kind of a services you are providing, how much understanding you have about that service, and about all the other operational costs that involved, right? So if you don't understand how much you are actually spending for that client and how much money you are collecting for the client, you may not able to understand a client specific profitability. So if the first two themes were about keeping the IT running and making IT more efficient, this one is more about IT more profitable and financially smart. So that's it for this theme. Let's move on to the next theme. So this is a final theme, which is also the most interesting one. I think that the theme name is wrong in the slide, but it is an open innovation actually track. So the open innovation track, what do I mean by open innovation? It means you have a complete freedom to identify and solve any problem in the MSP or IT ecosystem and problems that others might have like overlooked, right? Like you are not constrained by the categories. So the first three categories that are the themes that we have given. We know very specific themes that we want to solve it. And the fourth one, we kept it as open so that you're empowered to come up with the creative and unique solutions that drive genuine business value, right? Uh, the reason is that MSP and IT industry goes far beyond just managing servers or fixing computers. There is a vast ecosystem of challenges around business growth, relationship, and strategy, all waiting for innovative solutions. So I'll give you some examples, right? So for in the MSP side, if you look into it, like how do they do the business development, their marketing and lead generation part of it, how do they actually improve their sales processes, how do they improve their client relationship management and retention side of it, and they deal with a lot of vendors. So how do they do the vendor management and partnership? Um, and there are compliance and regulatory requirements also there for the MSP. And if you look into the internal IT team side of it, it is like uh, how do I do the stakeholder communication and business alignment? How do I do the career development and of the IT team, right? How do I do the vendor evaluation and procurement? And if I have to make any change in the IT infrastructure, how do I do the change management? How do I do the strategic planning and technology roadmaps around that? So I don't want to put you. Uh, I don't want to box you into specific ideas because this track is about like freedom, like you just to give you a taste. Um, that's what I'm trying to do it. So to wrap it up, this track is called Open Innovation. Uh, so this is your chance to identify the biggest and most impactful opportunities you see and build something bold. So just think wide, creative, don't hold back, and this is your chance to truly innovate. And that's the final theme. So there are four themes: IT operations efficiency, service efficiency improvement, growth and finance, and the fourth one is the open innovation. What are the examples I gave? It's just a starting point. You will get a lot more inspiration by engaging with our SuperOps community, where you can actually talk to the real MSPs and IT leaders. They will tell you what problems actually hurt, and that's your opportunity to solve them. All the best, and I can't wait to see what you build in this hackathon. Thank you.
It was a wonderful explanation, you guys, and it's commendable to see you guys to have so many answers for the participants. This will help them truly to build their ideas. All right, so I'll just quickly move on ahead with the timeline. Here are a few timelines that the participants need to keep a check on. As you can see, initial shortlisting announcements on 22nd of September, the shortlisting announcement will be done. So I'll request each of our participants to check the timeline on the dashboard, on the Hack to Skill dashboard, and prepare your ideas accordingly. And make sure to answer all the questions. Make sure to prepare the slide deck that we have provided. Keep it as simple but explanatory as you can so that it's helpful for the evaluator to evaluate it accordingly. Next, moving on, so from 22nd September to 7th October, we'll be having the prototype development phase. Well, the ideas will be shortlisted in the initial shortlisting. They will be getting a chance to move on ahead and develop their minimum viable products and developing their proper agents. And next, we will be having an AMA session. Well, this will be basically ask me anything session, introductory session, as likely to help you understand what you guys need to submit, what you guys need to prepare on, how the flow should be there, the structure and everything. Finally, we will be having the final shortlisting announcement that will be for the grand finale. And lastly, the grand finale that will be held on 29th of October. Now, without any much further ado, I will quickly open this floor for ask your queries. So I recommend all the participants who are here to write your queries in the chat, and we will address those accordingly. In the panel today, I'll be having Jay, Arvind, and Afros from our Hack to Skill team, who will be helping you out on this. So I'll quickly begin with the chat. Let's say. So there's a question from Master. Are we going to get any credits for doing the labs? So, well, these are basically not labs, masters. It's actually a hackathon. So, starting from the idea submission, you guys need to prepare your ideas, form the team, and then submit it. Moving on ahead, once you're shortlisted, you will be going to the prototype phase, and from there, you will be once shortlisted, you will be going to the final demo day. In between, you will be getting a chance to be shortlisted for hosting your agent in the SuperOps agent marketplace. I hope that answers the question. Jay, Arvind, if you guys would like to add anything over here, that'll be great.
Yeah, if they mean the AWS credits, yes, definitely AWS credits will be provided to the shortlisted teams. That is going to be there. And if there are really good AI agents that are built and which are shortlisted or getting into the final stage, right? Some of them are definitely get a chance to be listed in our marketplace. And eventually, when we open up the marketplace for our customers, there is a possibility of making revenue generation out of those agents.
All right. So next we have Arpit Saad. He asks if it's powered by AWS, so we'll be getting certificates and on-site opportunities or anything. Yes, Arpit, Jay just right now mentioned it. So yes, you guys will be getting certificates, but on-site opportunities. Jay, if you could add something more on this.
Um, this is more of a virtual event, so there is no on-site opportunities that we are actually planning. Um, if anything changes, we will definitely inform through the Hack to Skill platform. But as of today, it is a virtual event.
Moving on ahead, Sri Hari Ravi Kumar. In what ways SLA breaches happens? Does it happens in time delay or due to misworks? Can you brief a bit on that?
Yeah,
If yeah, sure, please.
yeah, I can take that question.
Sure.
Like I mentioned in the, I will give a brief answer here, but like I mentioned in the explanation, I would encourage the participants to come and ask these questions in the community, SuperOps community as well, where we can actually have a very detailed explanations. So SLA breaches can happen based on, so when every ticket has been created, it will be assigned a priority, it will be assigned a criticality, the severity, and based on that, it will also assign the SLA. And once the SLA has been assigned to the ticket, it's a time bound. It's basically a time bound. So within a certain amount of time, the ticket has to be resolved. And if it is not resolved, SLA will be breached.
Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Srihari. Moving on ahead, we have Kingston Joseph. He asked if it's a cross solution which would improve operational efficiency, theme one, at the same time improve services management, theme two. Should we submit under open innovation? Jay.
Um, I would recommend them to choose one of the themes, the first or the theme one or the theme two, and whichever has the more impact in terms of either it's an operational efficiency impact or the service efficiency impact, right? You post it in that theme. Uh, Once when we are actually shortlisting, if there are themes which are relevant for as a different theme than what they've actually posted, we will definitely move that into the theme. So don't worry about that during the submission time.
Okay, great. Moving on ahead, we have Kutahi Kuts. Can we still participate as individuals in case we don't find a team? If I may answer this question, well, this is a team hackathon, so minimum of two and maximum of four people should be in a team to participate in it. And to mention, without team formation, the ideas won't be validated. So I request each and every participant to form a team at least of two people, so that your ideas should be validating over here. Because This being a team exercise, no individual participants will be entered in. Sure. So moving on ahead, Jagdish Rajarajan, will there be a sandbox to build and test agents? And how will integration with the MSP ecosystem work if some APIs aren't available?
So I'll answer this question. So once the teams are shortlisted, we will be providing them AWS credit, and along with that, you can actually sign up for a SuperOps account. So we will also provide a dedicated SuperOps account where you will have a demo data which you can actually use it for your testing purposes and development purposes. And on top of it, we'll also provide you an MCP server which is connected to your SuperOps account. So we will provide all these ecosystems so that you can actually work. But if you are going to work with a third-party application, in that case, it is going to be a tricky where you need to sign up for the third-party application. If it is going to have a trial, you need to sign up to that to get uh, the agent working between SuperOps and the third-party application.
So I believe Jagdish, your question is answered. Moving on ahead, Devjit Nath Khan. In the fourth theme, can I create a solution related to edtech industry?
I'll take
Uh,
that answer. So
Please.
MSPs provide lot of services for different industries. Their clients can be from edtech, right? There can be a unique use case for like education as a sector. We actually provide as a service. I don't think it's edtech, but education as an industry. So if there is a use case for which they can build an agent, we will definitely understand. But I think the question is more on edtech. But again, you have to think about it as a sysadmin providing that service for MSP providing a service for different industries. If there is a specific use case which is really solving a problem, we can add it. But again, build something which will be relevant for SuperOps platform.
Great. I believe Devjit, that question is answered. Arpit Saab again here. Thanks for the clarification. One more thing. Price amount is $100,000. Okay, but winner will get only
Take that as
8,005.
well. So
Okay.
the prize is divided into four different themes. Each theme will have a winner and a runner and good idea, and we have another. Right? So like that's how the 100K is the whole pot. That has been divided into four. 25K for each team. That's how the winner will get $8,000 as a prize.
Great. Okay, so Myth has a question. Can you please tell about what problem we want to solve or select, like domain and ideas, etc.? So I believe this question is answered already, Myth. So you can see three questions, three problem statements are there predefined, and one we have open innovation. So that will be it for now. Uh, and So Boli Shetty Subrayudu has a question. How can get into the MSP's community to interact with them to know about the problems?
Okay, I'll answer this. So join the SuperOps community. We are also bringing a lot of MSPs into the community. You will be able to choose mentors. You can work with them. You can support. But also there are so many other communities where you want to go and understand the market. You can do it. But we urge you to join SuperOps community. It's an AI first community where MSPs and developers will be interacting.
Okay, great. I believe Boli your answer question is answered. Moving on ahead, we have Kiruba Karan. We are a startup building on customer ITSM, MSPs, and internal IT teams face similar issues. Will the hackathon provide APIs to integrate with SuperOps to pull tickets and build agents on top? Would you guys,
For the
Jay?
Yeah, during the hackathon, like I said, we will provide you the SuperOps account with the demo data, and you can populate the data. It's your own trial account. You can populate the data if you like, and you can use that to develop the AI agents. And we also provide you there are open APIs that are already available with for the SuperOps platform. In addition to that, we are also releasing an MCP server, which you can actually use it to develop the AI agent.
Great. Moving on ahead now, Lucky. What are we supposed to submit on the day of idea submission? It's on 8th August. Only the PPT will with the given template. Okay, so I'll take this question. Lucky. The idea submission has a deadline. So right now the idea submission is live and the deadline is on 10th of September. You can just check it on your team dashboard. And what you exactly need to submit is there are a few set of questions that are available over there. You need to fill it out individually, and apart from that there will be a slide deck available. You need to download it and fill out the questions that are mentioned in that. As I mentioned earlier, please be as explanatory but simple at the same moment, so that people, the evaluators basically who are there, they can understand and evaluate you accordingly. I hope that's it. uh, Moving on ahead. Okay. So Net Prompt AI has a question. Can you clarify the IP policy? Will our submitted ideas, solutions, and code remain our own, or do organizers sponsor gain rights over them? Okay, Jay, would you like to tell anything, or shall
Yeah,
I?
I can answer that. So IP will be yours. So whoever is developing, the participants are developing the agent. So the intellectual property is yours. But if it is really worth to put it, list it into our SuperOps marketplace, we definitely wanted encourage you to come and list it on our SuperOps marketplace, because we are going to have a monetization um, process of like how do we actually monetize the agents eventually in the marketplace. So we encourage you to come and uh, list it out there, do the further development on that agent. But in case if you don't want to maintain that agent anymore and we are not interested uh, on the monetization part, then we would definitely be wanted to buy the IP. So that we will do it at the later point in time once this hackathon everything has been completed.
Okay, I believe that answers the question. Moving on ahead, we have Santosh. Do we need to submit prototype or just PPT is enough? All right, so answering this, well, Santosh, there are three phases. First is idea submission phase. So folks who are participating in this hackathon, they need to prepare their ideas and list all the architecture and the flow and everything on the PPT that is available, the slide deck basically. Apart from that, there are few set of questions as I mentioned earlier. For the idea submission phase, that will be it. You need to answer that and submit it on the platform so that evaluators can go through it and evaluate you accordingly. Next will be the prototype development phase, where once an idea is shortlisted, and when a team is shortlisted with their idea, they need to prepare their prototypes. So these prototypes should be working, and based on that, they will be getting a chance to post their prototypes on the SuperOps agent marketplace. So not just the PPT, but you guys need to prepare your prototypes as well for this act. I believe that answers your question. Moving on next, now, do we have to build anything upon SuperOps platform or products? Um,
It's not mandatory, but if you want to solve these problems on SuperOps cloud platform, we are providing a trial account so that it is make it much more easier. But if you want to build it along with any other third-party products, then you can also do that. But it is not mandatory. The goal here is to solve the MSP and IT problems. But SuperOps platform is going to make it much more easier for you to build these agents.
all right, so moving ahead, Aditya. So can I build agentic AI which can solve the overall problem related to the ticket management and the technicians expert managing the relevant tickets integrating with the time managing system? Jay, if you could just throw some light on this.
I'm trying to understand the question. Um, Ticket management.
If you could just explain it a little bit more, it will be helpful for us to explain. For now,
Yeah,
we'll go on
yeah,
ahead
you
with
can
another
yeah.
question. Yeah. Arpit Sar again has a question. Can I use Google Cloud Services if I'm not using AWS? Since I am Google Gen AI leader, I can create a better prototype with them, and I am already familiar with all the APIs there.
Yeah, I think That should be fine. I think we are now partnering with AWS, so we can able to get the credit from the AWS. But if he wants to use the Google Gen, we have no problem on that. You can build an agent on top of it.
Wonderful. Moving ahead. What's the judging criteria? Any idea, suggestions? For example, your side. Well, idea suggestions, as Jay mentioned during the themes, you can work on MSPs and ITs. Jay, if you would like to add something more on this.
No, I think I covered that during the problem statement explainer. And beyond that, I again encourage people to come and discuss for idea brainstorming in the SuperOps community.
Okay, so great. So now you should join the SuperOps community. There are wonderful people over there. AWS mentors are present over there. You can just have a chat with them, and you'll get great idea creation over there. For judging criteria, we will let you know for that in the course. Next, Krish Sirohia is AWS will give certificate to everyone participating in the hackathon. I'll just answer this question. Well, exactly not everyone will be getting the participation certificate. People with valid ideas will be getting a certificate for the SuperHack 2025 hackathon. Uh, that will be having the powered by AWS and Hack to Skill tag. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I believe we are pretty much covered. And as I can see, there are no more further questions. So we have last one question. Lucky got it. And okay, no. Yeah, lucky. So got it. And after the idea submission, how many communities going to select? How community is going to select and shortlist the teams? What is the criteria? Well, basically, the community is for having a chat and what you guys need to work on. Not exactly for your selection over there, but for your curation, so that you can go ahead and understand what exactly need to be done. You can get the direction over there, what needs to be prepared, how can you tackle a question. That is something you guys will be better doing in the community, because AWS mentorship will be available. Other participants will be available there in the Agent AI community. So that will be pretty much it over there, not further on that. I believe that answers the question. Next, Srihar Ravi again has a question. What is the limit of AWS credits? I believe it is not yet confirmed, but we will surely let you know in the further comms. Srihar. Jay, if you would like to add anything else on this?
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, we are still working with them.
All right, great. So we are pretty much covered here. So that was a great session actually, and I thank each and every of our panel over here today. Arvind, Jay, Afroz, thank you for being here. It was a wonderful session. And lastly but not least, thank you to each and every participant who came here today and asked their questions. A round of applause for you. Please go ahead, check out the dashboard, register over there, participate in it, form your team, submit your ideas. And if you have any more queries, you can just reach out to on our support at hacktoschool.com. We will reach out to you directly. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It was a great session. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.